Fish and chips on a Friday. I had made it to the land of the long white cloud, the tiny island south of Australia that is home to more sheep than people. For months leading up to the trip, I had Googled things to do and places to go. I was constantly astounded by my search results that led to pictures of rolling green hills, white sand beaches, snow-capped mountains, bustling rivers, and just about every other kind of beautiful scenery that New Zealand holds within its borders. Ambition coursed through my veins as I thought of all of the adventures that awaited me, but I may have been a bit too eager. The first 2 weeks were filled with constant rain that soaked the beautiful landscapes that I longed to explore. Instead, my days were filled with Sudoku, puzzles, and my grandmother's favorite British television shows. I know this sounds like a drag, but casually spending time with my grandparents is something that I had wished for my entire life. So despite the lack of adventures, I was content. Throughout the years, my grandparents did their best to visit Charleston as much as possible. Unfortunately, the exorbitant plane tickets limited those visits to one every couple years. For the duration of my childhood, and up until now, I always imagined being able to stop by my grandparents' house on a lazy afternoon to chat over tea. Distance does not listen to wishes, though. Despite those thoughts, I had made my way to New Zealand to do exactly what I had always wished for, even if only for 2 months. I can still hear my grandmother hollering down the hall, "Katie, would you like a cup of tea? I'm putting the kettle on." As soon as I heard it boiling, I would join her in the kitchen as she slowly drained the piping hot water into our floral mugs. Exactly the type of mugs you would expect to see in any grandmother's kitchen. We would then enjoy our tea on the back deck if we were lucky enough to get a break from the rain, surrounded by the beautiful garden that she and my grandfather had built over the years. Hanging baskets dripping with purple blooms, a trellis adorned with efflorescent roses, and my grandparents on either side of me. Just being a part of their daily routine made me slowly realize that I was not there for the adventures. I was at peace in those leisurely moments that I will cherish for the rest of my days. After 2 weeks of relentless downpours, as if the universe was wishing us a happy weekend, the sun decided to grace us with its presence. I spent the morning soaking in the vitamin D that my soul had longed for. Little did I know, I was about to be introduced to one of my grandparents' routines. Around 4 in the afternoon, my grandfather asked me if I would like to have fish and chips for dinner. Can you tell that my grandmother is straight out of England? Manchester, to be exact. Without hesitation, I said yes, because who would say no to crispy, salty, vinegary fried food? I love my grandmother's cooking, but a one-night hiatus from steamed vegetables sounded good to me. Most Fridays, the go-to meal was fish and chips. Those evenings, it was my grandfather's job to ride his bicycle to the family-owned restaurant to pick up our dinner. When Alzheimer's became something that everyone could no longer ignore, my grandmother decided it was best to retire his driver's license. His bicycle was the last connection to independence in his grasp. So, when 6 o'clock rolled around, you could find him in the entranceway, embellishing his outfit with a fluorescent yellow, reflective vest. He would then finish it off with a helmet and walk out of the door with a proud smile on his face, saying, "I'll be back in a jiff." That night, after I was stuffed with fried goodness and had heard my grandfather's favorite stories a few too many times, all that was left to do was relax some more. We slumped on the couch to feast our eyes on The Watch, a British game show that my grandparents looked forward to watching every night. It didn't matter what we were watching, or doing for that matter. I was just happy to be there. Over the next 2 months, this is how my Friday nights went, and I wouldn't trade those memories for the world.